Hey there. I thought it was just a bit strange after where we left off. I wanted to see you. Now that things are getting more personal between us, there's something I need to talk to you about. Do you remember that person I mentioned? The one that I may have been in love with? Well, I didn't tell you the whole story. It's because I wanted to protect you. But I know I can't do that now unless I get real with you. So, here goes nothing. I got involved with someone dangerous. And after I presumed that she was dead, things went back to normal for a while. But I realized something. The relationship I had with them, the love of the time, was just something of like a moth to flame. It was always destined to be something dangerous, something very volatile in its nature. And yet there was so little I could do about it. If only because I had a limitation. Something that was absolutely finite that I couldn't get past. That was due to one certain bastard. You see, as much as I'd like to consider myself good at dealing with conniving wretches, there's people that I can't take on. Yeah, you guessed it. Ones that don't care if I'm looking at them or not. Those bastards are few and far between, but just like you saw with Nomu, there are times when I can't just whisk my problems away and take the advantage to hand-to-hand combat. This was one of them. It was ironic because it wasn't that bastard's quirk himself. But I guess I should explain what happened. I have things that need to be done lately. The demands have gotten more aggressive. You might be wondering why I have to do them. Well, there's two good reasons why. That person that I mentioned earlier in my life, they have my child. And they're kept hostage. Not something I ever wanted to admit to someone else, but if I'm gonna be serious about you, it's something you have to know. I've got skeletons in my closet, kid. And you may be my kitty. But that doesn't change the fact that I still need to get rid of those skeletons before things get too dangerous. I wish I wasn't telling you this because I wish I didn't have to. But I feel responsible. Maybe the love has died, but I feel responsible for what happened to them. It ended up being a ploy by a sort of organization that lurks within other ones like a parasite, like a disease. And this said thing, it caught my would-be family involved. While I have no intention of going back, and well, maybe it's shameful. It's not like I intended to have kids with someone. I mean, if you took me back then, I might have. But that's not now. That's not the circumstance in which we're in. My baggage is just that. Well, mostly. I have something that allows me to get orders. They put this sort of chip in my ear. The only catch is I didn't have a choice if I wanted them to be alright. Not to mention I couldn't have won the fight if I wanted to. I know it's not nice to hear it, kid, but even I was at my knees, down on my hands and knees like a groveling pig. And it's not something I like to tell people, but it's still something that needs to be said. It hurts me. Being powerless is something I promised I'd never let happen again, and yet I'm still their lapdog. That organization, which runs inside of the Heroes Association, I need to obey them for now. At least until I find some bastard strong enough to take them down. That's when I can turn on them. Well, they'll have to remove the thing in my head, but provided they don't have their hand on the trigger, I should be alright. More importantly, I just need you to know. I'm telling you this because, kid, I want you to be with me for life. Yeah, maybe I have some skeletons, but I'm hoping they're not too much for you. I should have told you earlier, honestly. I didn't out of fear, out of shame. Nobody wants an old man like myself who has a past. Everyone wants the old roguish type without having any kind of baggage to go along with it. And frankly, I don't think there's a person in the world who has my kind of roguish charm and, no story to drive it. So I was hoping you'd be able to accept me even without it. That somehow you might be able to understand that I'm only doing these things, these orders that keep getting sent to me, out of necessity. And that you can understand where I'm coming from, because I don't even believe in these orders myself. But not only is my life on the line, there's some kid I never really met, some woman I used to know. And it's also overwhelming at some times. I'm just glad that you're here. As much as I'd like to be sassy about it, there's too much we have to do. Too many things. If I'm gonna get out of this alive, and we're gonna have a life together, we're gonna have to do things slow, steady, by the book. At least until we can afford to do other things. No, I'm not going to lie to you. You're my kitty after all. But I needed to tell you something. Something very important. I may not make it out of this. No, I don't want to think like that. But it's gonna be damn dangerous. There's someone you can't get near no matter what. It might even be dangerous for you to be too near me. The only advantage I think we have is he doesn't have enough time. Not enough time to mess with you. Not when he knows he can infect me. It's an unsung villain. Someone that works deeper than the rest. Honestly, he's been at it for too long now. All Might, back before all of this nonsense, just tried his best, but he's good at fighting people directly, not people who hide behind others. So in the end, he was no different. Well, I saved him plenty of times from getting infected. It was only a matter of time. All in all, even the symbol of justice couldn't keep peace. And besides, Even if he could, it wouldn't have changed anything. When you have a festering disease within a community, it ruptures things, it corrupts and finds ways to bring others into it. And this is no different. It's a cancerous growth within the Heroes Association. Something that I don't like to follow, but have no choice. But it's only a feint. I'll try my best to keep my morals and beliefs in check. You can trust me. At least I hope you can. I'd never let you down, you know. I just enjoy the time we have together. Even if it's too short sometimes. Can't always fix that. Sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet, kid. I may consider you something special, but that doesn't mean that I want to get you involved in all this. If I didn't feel it was right, if I didn't feel so damn guilty about it, I'd have to hold you back. Keep you at a safe distance, but I can't do that right now. I think you understand why. You're in danger just by being next to me. If we're gonna work through this, we gotta do a lot. Make sure we're not slacking. Otherwise, there's no telling what's gonna happen. I think you understand. I can't just whisk all the problems in the world away. Sure, I can solve things on a local level, but that doesn't change it. Even if I neutralize something, no one can be sure it won't just take effect the next time they're exposed to it. What's more, I think it's very important you know something. I will not let anything happen to you. I'll be damned if I do, damned if I don't. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. Everything I do has been trying, and I just don't intend to give up. You should know more than anyone that I'm stubborn. But isn't that what you like about me? How unbelievably stubborn and pig-headed I am? Of course, it's one of my best parts. Everyone loves that about me, don't they? I think they do. I just hope they don't ask me to do anything terrible. I may become a villain in your eyes. And you need to ask yourself at the end of the day if I'm worth that. So, kid, it's okay if you ever disagree, or even if you want to take me down. Just know I can't give up without a fight. It's not just my battle. It's mine and what's left of a family that I don't know how to face. Yeah, just give me a break. I'm not gonna do anything. I think we'll get out of this before things get too crazy. Let's just hope they're not paying too much attention to what we're doing. Then we'll be fine. After all, if they don't have enough time, then we'll be golden for the most part. I mean, what could they do? As long as they don't get you, we should be fine. At least I hope we are. I'll be damned if we just let things get out of hand. Well, I guess it's damned if we do, damned if we don't kind of situation, like I said earlier. But I figure action can't hurt. Especially action with some passion behind it. So don't you give up on me. Not just yet. I mean, unless you want to. That's up to you, kid. You want to break my roguish heart? Well, if you do your worst, Heartbreaker. I think it just makes you more attractive. I'm joking. Don't go breaking my heart any more than it is. I don't need any more of that. Now, I think it's time I took a small nap. What? You want a sleeping bag too? I always carry an extra, so here you go. You like that? Makes hopping around a little difficult, but honestly, what's to complain when you're this snuggly and warm? Now, if only I could do something like this to take care of my dry eyes. I'll be honest with you. That's probably the least favorite part I have of all of this. Can't stand it. It's all scratchy and I don't like it. Why couldn't I have had like a quirk like this, but in my finger instead? That way I wouldn't have to worry about this. Genetics didn't do me much favors, did they? Well, other than my amazing looks, of course, and my crafty wit, well, I guess I couldn't ask for an amazing quirk that has no drawbacks if I'm this perfect otherwise, right? Now, good night. You know, it's been a while since I've felt so comfortable napping with someone. You know, it's not easy to nap when there's so many people who want a piece of you. So I guess I have you to thank. But more than that, I was hoping you'd enjoy some time. Now that we got it. Maybe a brief time before the storm. That doesn't make it any less valid. And I personally love any time I can get with you. So I was thinking we could go do something extra special. I was thinking going to that juice bar would be something else. I hear they have some awesome snack food. You know me and snacks. We get along just fine. Besides, once I get things settled here, we might even be able to do something about all this nonsense. I don't want to talk about the serious stuff right now. I'm sure you don't either. I think life's about balancing things. The sweets with the exercise, the good with the bad, and the serious with the not, so I was thinking, after all this, we go to that juice bar, we maybe do something nice, kid. I mean, not saying the juice bar isn't nice, but it's not exactly the regal place to go. There's a lot that I still have to learn about this, dating scene. Because I'm not some kind of expert in it. Really, who is? Bet you anyone who calls themselves a dating expert is more clueless than me. I think it's kind of like martial arts. You never learn until you accept that you know nothing. And this is me, facing myself, facing you, telling you that all of this is just the beginning, not the end. And I'll show you how much I can be. And besides, looking at that smile of yours, whenever I can see it, it's worth the trouble, all of it. And even if I need to do a bunch of things, even if I have to put up a fight against my friends or former students, even if I have to do unspeakable things, I'm willing to do it for you and for them. I just hope it never comes to that. So, let's go. After impending doom and talking about all that nonsense, You must be thirsty. You know, my favorite part about the juice bar is you know you're not doing something bad for your body. It's like a non-guilty pleasure. I mean, unless you drank a whole bunch of it. You'd have to drink quite a lot. If you were curious about where I picked up my lines, I guess, fancy take on pet names. I guess it's 'cause you remind me of something. You remind me of, well, an old cat I used to know. So I thought kitty works, and then kid is more like, well, as shameful as it is, you seem like a kid sometimes. I'd never judge you for it. But you gotta understand, I'm a bit older than you. Not that it makes me any different or wiser. I'm just here to tell you how it is. I don't pull my punches. Not even with you, kid. Now, here we are. Why don't you go in first? It's just a courtesy. I thought you might want your order quicker. I'm a pretty patient man, you know. I can be, at least with some things. But other things, I guess you'll have to find out. I don't mean it in any crazy way, unless you want me to. I mean, I have no problem meaning it in a crazy way. What were you thinking? Well, it doesn't matter right now, because you should be thinking about the delicious juice you're about to have. Otherwise, you're missing out. And missing out, that's a sad way to live life. Drinking your life away in a juice bar now, considering you're not, well, you're just doing good things for your body, I can't see it as a bad thing. That's only half the argument. You see, kid, I've been going here for probably half my life, since I was in UA myself. Well, before I was a teacher, of course. And ever since I went here, the people I went with changed over the years. And so I developed a sort of guard. Never to take someone here again, for fear of losing them. But with you, I want to prove something to myself. I don't have to fear that with everyone. I don't have to be that scared man on the other side of the mirror. And that I don't need to prove myself in order to be confident that things are going to be okay. Maybe it sounds a bit strange, but something like that isn't very easy for me. Something like trusting others and believing in whimsical things, it's not as easy as it sounds. And I'm sorry if you think I'm weak for it. Honestly, kid, there's one other thing I need to tell you. I'm dead serious about you, but that doesn't mean you're locked into this. I know I've said it before, but you're not some kind of container for me to throw my feelings at. You're not just some kind of reciprocal, or whatever you want to call it. I don't want you to feel like you need to be here unless you want to. And I want you to know I'd never hold it against you. After all, this old dog may know some new tricks, but that doesn't make me the best kind of person. In fact, I'd say I'm far from it until I can solve my own problems. And then after that, maybe, just maybe I can be that good person in my mind and my heart that I want to be for you. Honestly, I try not to sweat it. For 2 reasons. Why worry about what you can change in the moment? And, well, there's no reason for me to give up on things. That's why I don't. Frankly, I don't see the point or the truth in it. It's like an empty bottle. It has the symbolism of disappointment and that there's something that should be in it, but it's not. And that's precisely why. I don't want to be that empty bottle. I don't want to be that disappointment. And in order to not be that, I gotta be stronger. A lot of people might not understand that or think that I'm trying to be too strong for my own good. But they don't understand the situation. Rightfully so. I can't tell them what I tell you. Especially not the other students of UA. If I do, it could cause everyone to be in danger. I probably shouldn't have told you, but what can I say? You pull those heartstrings just right, and I talk like a bumbling idiot. I do think you should know, don't mind that, but putting you in danger, I wish I had a better plan. I love to have a plan, if at all possible, because not having a plan makes you seem like you're floating in space. There's emptiness all over you. But what does that really mean? The emptiness, it doesn't really mean anything. It's just my fears and the what-if situations in all directions that I don't know which to pick. But honestly, kid, I need to make these decisions. I need to hear what you think of all this. That's a respectful take on things, I'll give you that. But can you really say that you're okay with this? I'm living on the edge not because I want to, but because there's someone a hell of a lot of a big deal. And someone who I want to take down, but it's not very easy to. And I feel like that's the only way I can do things, is being so close that I'm right under their thumb. And yet, for all intents and purpose, I'm their pawn. I think I got caught up in things and I let it get too close. So what I might need to do is let myself get sloppy. What if at a moment's time, someday, when I present the moment, the time that I can see someone who can help? Well, no. I don't think it would work. So maybe you can find them. Maybe you can do it. In my place, in the place of all those things that I want to do, but just don't feel I can. Perhaps you're my shining star. And if you are, if you choose to be, well, I guess I'll owe you a lifetime supply of juice bar. And a whole lot of kisses, too. Because I think kisses convey things in an elegant way that's cute and sexy. Okay, maybe that's pushing it. But a kiss is something that's from the heart. I refuse to abide by things normally. I refuse to let the past be anything more than what it is. It will always be just another past. Something that I got past already. So the present's gonna be that. So when we're laughing about this in a year, we can look back and say we did what we had to do. That's what I'm hoping. If it lasts more than a year, then, well, damn. And I've made some mistakes, haven't I? Hopefully you don't feel like it. I appreciate that. The fact that you would stand up for it is not a mistake is humbling to me. Thank you. What's the matter? Getting shy? Never been kissed at the juice bar before? I'd imagine it's a new and fruity experience, especially with this, blue raspberry swirl. I don't know why they call it that. It's just blue raspberry and they mix it with some ice cream, but maybe that's it. Ice cream puts the swirl in things. Though I can't really say. I'm not the biggest connoisseur, is what I'd like to say. But honestly, I like my sweets and I like my juice. Just like I like my naps. It's because it's the time that I don't have to worry about dry eye. Or the cares of the world, and I can just relax. That is until I get my next mission. Then we'll see what happens then. I just hope everyone can understand. I know they won't. It's going to turn into this thing. People not understanding and me not able to tell them. You see the way this thing works. It's during combat situations and things like that, my heart rate goes up and this machine that's in my head can tell. And so then it gets receptive to what I'm feeling. And when that happens, I need to be careful. Though I guess the same thing's true if it was kissing you. The only difference is I'm not afraid of them with you. Because they should know just as much about you as me. I don't doubt for a moment that they would try something with you if I didn't have a place to hide you. A place to keep you away from all the negatives of the world. Honestly, with that place or not, I'll protect you. And I think they know not to mess with you. At least if they do, they're going to get fire and fury till they pull that trigger on me. So, here's the deal. I have a buddy. A buddy that'll take care of things. I can't go near him because of the radius of this thing. He can tell my location, and if they think I'm at any other location other than the normal places, then I can get in some pretty nasty situations. Anyways, we're gonna go back outside, enjoy some time in the park, and then we'll part ways. No, don't try and argue. I know what you mean, kid. I know who you are, deep down, and I know you don't want to accept this, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. No, that's not it. It has nothing to do with that, You're right. You're absolutely right. I need to treat you properly. Just like I need to make things known. I should probably talk to my retainers. Though at the same time, I don't want them to know. I want to protect you as something of my daily normal routine. And yet, part of me knows I'm not that strong. So why don't we? We can form a plan as we walk. There must be something we can do. Being depressed isn't my thing, Kitty. There's no reason for it. I don't have that kind of path, really. Because if you get depressed and let life beat you up, keep you down, then you're just inviting more chaos and more people to take advantage of you. Now, do I look like someone who's gonna get taken advantage of? Not one bit. I've got no time for that. And frankly, the only thing I do have time for is you. You and solving all this mess. So, kid, what do you say? Want to help old Aizawa get out of these things without too much of a scratch? What am I talking about? Using formalities with you. Would you help me? Me right in front of you. The Shota that you've come to know. Thank you. I can't even put into words what I'm feeling right now because it's overwhelming. It's encouraging as much as it is baffling that someone sticks up for me at this point. I've already basically sold my damn soul to the villains, and that's where I thought you'd just abandon me. The fact that you didn't is stunning. It makes me happy, and it makes me feel like I can actually do something against these bastards. I don't know what else to tell you. All my cool words left me when I lost my composure with you. Frankly, I've got a whole lot of feelings and jumbled words in my heart that I just have trouble with trying to get them all out in some way that makes any kind of conceivable sense, that I just ramble on. Then I just think, what can I do? What can I do to make myself better for you, for everyone, for what I owe and what I don't? My debts, that's what scares me. That somehow they'll take you as something else. But I won't let them. They'll have to kill me if they want you. And if I have to rip this damn machine out of my ear, then I'll do it myself. 'Cause these fellas, they may have me on a leash, but I don't think they realize what kind of dog I am. I think they can just take me out for a walk and I'll be content. No, that's not how it works. They can take me out on a walk, but they have to be ready to grit their teeth and hold that leash for dear life. And if they're lucky, I won't turn on them and rip their throat out. And honestly, that's the attitude I gotta keep. Progress. Focus on it. Come on, Shota. You can do this. Sorry, I sometimes talk to myself about this when I get especially, deep in thought, and I just need you to know that this is all me at my lowest, probably. I mean, there's lower, but not that I'm willing to go. Not unless it means everything. It sucks when people's lives are on the line, you know. Heroism turns into a messy thing. Because you think that you've got things under control, but you never do. And they can just leverage that over you. You feel like you're somebody's plaything, a Monopoly piece on the board. It's not a good feeling, let me tell you. So let's hope that there's no one who's going to put you on the board. But luckily, I've got one ace up my sleeve. Here, take this. You see, it's a fancy little keychain, right? I even made it cute for you. Well, a little bit cool, too. But it's a special one I made for you. It should mostly keep them off you. At least I'm hoping. A good friend of mine made it. And I hope that they're still not regretting their choices. Nah, I bet they aren't. They're too crafty to get themselves in trouble, so they must be alright. So, what you need to know about it is pretty simple. It should jam their signal of you, and don't worry, I got one of my own. Though I can't do it for too long, or else, well, the automation of things kicks in. And then they'll give me a little warning in my ear, and they'll say get back and report in, or else bad things happen. You know how it works. In any case, that's not what I want to focus on today. I want to focus on how much I appreciate you, how much I love you, how much you mean more to me than just about anything. I've still got a lot to learn, kid. That doesn't take away from how much you mean to me, how much you've done for me. These overwhelming feelings, I don't know how to express myself. I might be more childish than someone half my age sometimes. That's what I think, is because it's just all so clumped up in my brain. I don't know what to make of it, you know. I never do. It's just, I need to give it to you. My whole heart. Maybe I rushed things at the start. Maybe I was greedy. This is me thinking about you. And if you're serious about me, who am I to tell you you can't be? Who am I to try and protect you from your own decisions? There's no purpose to that. That's me not respecting you enough. Me trying to be your dad instead of your lover. I don't want to do that to you because I know how it feels like. Frankly, I've had my run-ins with such things. It's never good. Not now, not ever. So let's just keep our heads up and do something about it while we can. For now, I was thinking maybe we could postpone our walk and maybe even spend some more time together. I mean, we've been walking for a while, but it's only because we got our juice already. I like to walk with my favorite people. Just like I like to nap with you. And sipping juice and enjoying the night sky. It really does set the mood, doesn't it? I guess I must take you serious. I mean, not to brag or anything, but I am one hell of a man, after all. It's no shame in saying that you like me, or that you love me. Also, it's no shame in you expressing how roguishly attractive I am, like I mentioned earlier. It's just nature. You can't turn it off, and you can't stop it. It'll be there, as long as you see these eyes staring back at you. I'll just have to light a fire in your soul, right in that big, beautiful heart of yours. So come on, baby. Why don't we go back to my place? I'd like to spend the night with you. It's a lot less cold and empty. and you have someone there right beside you. You know, kid, I'm glad that someone is you. You know, there could be a lot of people that I could have met. I don't think any of them would have been as special as you. Look at me getting all sappy. Well, why don't you hold my hand? Go on my arm like this, so I can have you proudly by my side. You know what? I regret none of this. Nothing since we've met has felt forced or, well, has felt out of place. It's just been one thing after another. Good news, bad news, whatever it is. We face it so cordially that I have no negative feelings about us currently. I want to keep it that way. Kitty, why don't we go to my place? And I know I already said that, but I just want to prove to you something. How much you mean to me. Maybe it's cliche, but I think the best way is action, not words. When you love someone, you express it to them. You show them that love is real, tangible, a feeling. You make them feel. That's what I want to do to you. Make you feel something so profound, so intense that you just can't. That you have no doubts in that pretty little head of yours. Sorry, was that embarrassing? Because something about whispering in your ear like that, it was rather addicting. Sorry, I have a bad habit of getting carried away. When my heart's with you, it feels like a safe place, one that I can get behind and one that I need. That's why I have to. I have to give you my everything. I have to make sure that you feel loved, that you know you are. It's more than just a feeling, it's a truth. That's what I want it to be. I realize I have a long ways to go with that, but I'll be damned if I don't. I'll be damned if I don't give it everything I have. That way, you have no doubt in your heart that I at least tried my best. And, well, trying's fine and all, but hey, you gotta do something, or you'll never know if you made it or not. Here we are. Let's go inside. I seriously need to make sure that you have the support you need. And I'm here to give you everything that I've experienced in my life. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I can't love with anything less than all my heart. It's always been that way, you know. It's just who I am. What I do and what I stand for. It's all so special, you know? When you get to share your whole heart with someone. Sure, it has that risk of it getting crushed and stepped on, but when you trust them like that, that's what real love is. At least that's what I would define it. True love is putting yourself out there, stretching your neck for someone. And if you care, you always put the action with the words, not just one or the other. Actions and words, they mean everything in this world. And I hope that my actions have made you understand my passion, my love for you isn't second rate. I would never give you up to anyone. Not now, not ever. I simply don't have the capacity to love halfway, like I said. And so I'll keep doing it, even if it makes me a fool. I'm gonna give you all my love that I got. And honestly, I'll make sure that you never forget about who taught you everything you know. Besides, I don't claim to be the coolest or anything, but I think my roguish charm helps in getting things moving. It sure seems to help in making you feel special. You're practically glowing, kitty. I'm glad. I can't get enough of you. And frankly, I want to give you more time, but for now, I think we best do something a little less exhausting. I wouldn't want you to not be able to carry yourself as comfortably tomorrow. Plus, I hear there's a good show on if you'd like to watch it with me. Otherwise, I'm game to talk all night with 20 questions or something. 20 questions always turns into 200 questions if you ask me. Not that it bothers me, of course, but I've got a lot of things that I'm not really sure how to feel about when it comes to that. Why they call it 20? Couldn't it be more? When it comes to you, I always want more. So it's just so damn special what we have here. And I'm not giving up on that. I'm not giving up on you either. So please, let's enjoy our life together. I want you to be with me forever. Did you know that? It's quite simple, really. I don't need anything else in my life but you. You and my responsibilities, of course, but keep in mind, I never intended things to be this complicated. And I'll be sure to make up for the fact that they are. We're gonna get out of this, don't you worry. I'll see it through to the end. And I'll protect you. I swear on my life. Hopefully I won't have to call that one. But you know how it is. A man doesn't go back on his word. And I have no intention of loving you halfway. Now, where